What if the greatest adventure isn't about finding a new world, but discovering who you were always meant to be? Moana isn't just another Disney princess movie, it's a breathtaking journey about courage, identity, family, and answering a call that no one else can hear. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my movie podcast. I am your host, the Dramatic Critic. And today, I'm going to be talking about Moana. Not the one from 2016, but the one from 2026. Yeah. Anyway, Moana follows the story of a fearless teenager who feels a connection to the ocean, despite what her father says that she'll never sail beyond the reef. When her island begins to lose its life and resources, Moana sets out on a dangerous voyage to find the legendary demigod Maui and return the stolen heart of Tafiti. What makes Moana stand out is that the story isn't driven by romance, it's driven by purpose. It's about embracing responsibilities, honoring your heritage, and finding the courage to follow your own path, even when the future is uncertain. If there's one message that makes Moana unforgettable, it's this. You don't become who you're meant to be by staying where it's safe. You become that person by answering the call that's inside you. Throughout the movie, Moana constantly finds herself torn between two worlds. One side is her responsibility to her family and village. On the other side is the voice inside her that keeps pulling her toward the ocean. That struggle is something almost everyone experiences, whether it's choosing a career, chasing a dream, or stepping into the unknown. Life often asks us to decide between comfort and purpose. What's beautiful is that Moana never says you have to reject your past to find your future. Instead, it teaches you that your roots are what give you the strength to move forward. Moana doesn't stop loving her family or abandon her culture. She discovers that the traditions of her ancestors were always connected to courage and hope. By embracing both her heritage and her own identity, she becomes the leader her people truly need. One of the reasons the Moana franchise has connected with so many audiences is that every major character is driven by something deeply personal. Their motivations aren't just about reaching a destination, they're about discovering who they are and what they are willing to fight for. Let's talk about Moana first. Her greatest motivation has always been about curiosity mixed with responsibility. She isn't just someone who's looking for an adventure because it's exciting. She sets out because she feels the responsibility to help others because she believes there's always more beyond the horizon. Instead of proving herself, she may now be trying to inspire others, protect her people, and ensure the future generations can continue exploring the ocean safely. Then we have Maui. There's not really much to say about him, but what makes Maui such an interesting character is that beneath all the jokes and the confidence is someone who wants to matter. Like in the original story from 2016, much of his behavior came from wanting acceptance and recognition. There's only one hot take I have for this movie is Disney played it safe with the live action Moana. One reaction I've seen from many fans is that the new Moana live action feels like Disney played it safe. Looking at the trailers, it's easy to understand why people might feel this way. Many of the shots, the costumes, and even the dialogue appears to closely mirror to the original animated film. Instead of completely reinventing the story, Disney seems to be leaning into what already worked. Now there's a good side and a bad side to this approach. On the positive side, Moana is already considered one of Disney's strongest modern animated films. If audiences love the original, staying faithful could preserve the heart of the story while giving fans the chance to experience it with real actors, locations, and updated visual effects. Sometimes people don't want a remake to completely change what made the original special. On the other hand, the biggest criticism of Disney's recent live action remakes is that many of them can feel more like recreations than reinterpretations. If every scene, every song, and every story beat is nearly identical, audience may start to ask, why don't I just watch the animated version instead? A remake should identically offer a fresh perspective, whether it's a deeper character development, expanded world building, or a new emotional moment that justifies revisiting the story. So the big question, does Moana 2026 live action play it safe? Based on what I've seen so far, I would say it certainly appears to lean toward honoring the original rather than reinventing it. So, yes, Disney played it safe. For my second hot take, not only that Moana was a waste of money to make a live action movie, but it's too soon for a live action movie to actually happen. And here's why. If you look at the animated Moana, it came out in November of 2016. The live action, July 2026. It's not even a 10-year gap. Disney movies had like a 20-year gap in between the classic and the live action. Jungle Book, somewhere in the 1960s. We got a live action one in 2016. Beauty and the Beast, 1991. Live action, 2017. Lion King, 1994. Live action, 2019. Now, with Disney, now I can go on and on explaining every Disney phenomenon from the classic era to now. I'm not messing around when I say this. It's too soon, and it's also too late for a live action movie to happen. You also came out with Moana 2, which I believe came out in 2024. So, what can I say except no thank you to the new Moana live action? Anyway, I like to talk about the music in the movies, so let's go into the soundtrack breakdown. I'm only going to be talking about one song. You know what song I'm talking about? You're welcome. One of the biggest talking points in Moana 2026 is hearing You're Welcome in a live action setting. The 2016 animated version was larger than life with their animations. The 2016 animated version was larger than life. Fast-paced visuals and the expressive performance of Maui that only animation could fully deliver. In the live action, the song naturally feels more grounded. Instead of relying on cartoon-style transformations, every few seconds, the focus shifts more toward the actor's performance, body language, and the way the musical number fits into a real-world environment. That doesn't necessarily make one version better than the other. It just gives each one a different personality. The animated version is pure energy and spectacular, while the live-action version aims to make Maui feel more like a legendary hero telling his own story. So if you're expected the exact same feeling as in 2016, you might be surprised. But if you're open to seeing the song interpreted through a different lens, it offers a fresh way to experience one of Disney's most recognizable music numbers. I'd like to thank everyone for listening in. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share with a friend. Thank you, and you're welcome.